So what happens when an internet personality pushes his content so far that he literally disappears for almost a year? And no, this isn't some social media break. This is the wild story of what happens when online antics smash headfirst into international law. This is the story of Vitaly. I mean, can you just imagine saying that to a police officer on a live stream in a country that isn't your own? For some people, that might just be a really crude joke, but for the authorities in the Philippines, this kind of content from IRL streamer Vitaly, well, it wasn't just offensive, it was the absolute final straw. And just like that, poof, he was gone. His millions of followers were met with total radio silence, which of course sparked all kinds of crazy speculation and rumors online. But the reality of his situation? It was way, way more serious than anyone could have possibly imagined. So, how did we even get here? How does a streamer's prank escalate into this massive international incident? To really get what happened, we've got to go back and look at the exact big mistake that kicked this whole thing off. Okay, so IRL streaming. Vitaly basically built his entire career on this. But his brand wasn't just about, interacting with the public, it was about provoking them. His streams were all about these chaotic, in-your-face stunts that were designed to get the biggest, loudest reaction possible for his camera. And this right here, this is the core of the problem, isn't it? In the streamer's mind, it was all just harmless fun, just pranks for views. But in the eyes of the law in the Philippines, his actions weren't just annoying. They were actual criminal offenses. He was literally breaking the law, live, for everyone to see. You'd think getting arrested would be a huge wake-up call. But instead, Vitaly's own arrogance, right after it all went down, well, it would take a really bad situation and make it infinitely worse. Yeah, the authorities were not messing around. Their message was crystal clear right from the start. They felt like he had directly insulted their country, and they were dead set on showing the world that actions like his have very, very serious consequences. This is where the story just gets absolutely wild. On one hand, you have the government totally serious about enforcing its laws, and on the other, you have Vitaly in court, literally giving himself a round of applause as they play back the clips of his stunts. His defiance was just completely off the charts. So after that spectacle at the press conference, the act was over. The jokes stopped, the streams went dark, and for Vitaly, the reality of his situation suddenly became incredibly grim. 9 long months. For the better part of a year, he was completely off the grid. No updates, no tweets, absolutely nothing. Just total digital silence as he faced the consequences, locked away in a foreign country. Now look, while we don't know the exact specifics of what he went through, these are the widely reported conditions in the kinds of facilities where he was likely held. And the picture that former inmates paint, it's of an unbelievably harsh and dehumanizing environment. And this is the crucial twist. His ordeal went beyond just jail time. It became a full-blown geopolitical nightmare. The Philippines wanted him out, but with his U.S. green card on the line and Russia initially saying no thanks, he was basically stateless. A man without a country, trapped in this insane bureaucratic limbo. And then, after those 9 months of complete silence, a final press conference was called. It looked like this bizarre, drawn-out chapter was finally coming to an end. And wow, the man who showed up at that press conference was unrecognizable. The cocky, defiant streamer was just gone. In his place was this quiet, subdued guy with long hair and a huge beard. It was obvious the whole experience had taken a massive toll on him. In what has to be a stunning reversal, the very same official who had vowed to make an example of him announced that Vitaly's sentence was served. He said that Vitaly had shown remorse and his deportation was finally officially approved. But the destination was the final shocker. He wasn't sent back to the U.S., where his family is and where he built his whole career. With his green card gone, he was deported back to Russia, his country of origin, a place he reportedly has no real ties to anymore. So he's free, right? Story over? Well, not so fast. His freedom came with a huge catch, because being deported to Russia isn't just a change of scenery. It presents a whole new set of massive, career-threatening challenges for an IRL streamer. I mean, just look at this. His entire business model is basically broken. The very tools and platforms he needs to make a living are either completely blocked, like Instagram, or severely limited, like how you can't even monetize on YouTube if you're a Russian creator. It's like a digital iron curtain for a content creator. So it's not just that the platforms are restricted, it's that the very type of content he creates is now pretty much illegal where he lives. The whole public nuisance thing that got him jailed in the Philippines, that could get him in far more serious trouble in Russia. His entire brand is basically incompatible with his new reality. You know that saying, he messed around and found out? Well, he definitely found out. But now, with a revoked green card, a shattered brand, and a new home where his entire personality is essentially against the rules, the ultimate question is, can his career even survive this? He might be a free man, but the consequences of his content are far from over.